everyone. Here we are again. Fantasy Football Jibber Jabber. Jesus, Gerard, it is now playoff time, and actually playoff seeding time. This is the week where you figure out if this team's going to make it or not. Are you in the cusp of any of your leagues? Are you in or are you out? Talk to me.
I need 3 wins this week, and I need to win by a sizable amount in 2 of them.
Wow.
So,
I'm out in 2. I have 1. I'm right smack in the middle, and the other one I'm fighting for the first seed, and hopefully I get it. But listen, Disney World was in Disney last week. We had a great time. Had some picks up there. Pretty best one was DJ Moore, but 4 and 2 on the picks as usual. I'm keep killing it. Let's get to the picks. Cold cash quarterback. I go with Aaron Rodgers. With of course, the right to change my name based on the weather tomorrow here in Jersey. Why Aaron Rodgers? He faces the Giants defense, who made Mitch Trubisky look like Mitch Buchanan against that Giants defense. The Giants defense is terrible. 12.3% on deep balls allowed. The Giants are bad. The Packers just got blown out on Sunday night, against the Niners. I love Aaron Rodgers. Who's your cold cash quarterback?
my cold cash quarterback sitting at number 7 this week is Aaron Rodgers against the New York Giants. That's the absolute must play of the week. Anybody that knows anything about the NFL knows this. So I'm not going to rehash it, but just for the sake of having a show here, I love the other quarterback in New York, and I love Sam Darnold going up against the hapless Bengals this week. Sam Darnold quietly has put up 3 25-point games in a row here. Love Sam Darnold, big-time value going up against the winless Bengals. He was my sleeper, but since we've already gone double Aaron Rodgers, let's have the man also.
Funny, that's one of my sleepers. How cute. Running back, cold cash, Jonathan Williams, Indianapolis Colts, 104 and a touchdown last week. That's all you won from a guy who's a 4-string running back. Titans have allowed a running back to score or allowed 100 yards in each of the last 3. Colts run the ball 4th most in the NFL. Boom, Jonathan Williams, running back, cold cash player of the week.
Josh Jacobs going up against an improved but still not good enough Kansas City defense. They can run the ball, and John Gruden is using Jacobs the same way he used to use Warwick Dunn back in the day. Just a high volume usage. Love Jacobs. I know he's a little banged up, but absolutely love Jacobs in this matchup against Kansas City.
Cooper Kupp is my guy. I know he's your guy usually, but this week he'll be my guy. A lot of targets last week. He had Arizona in the last 4 games has allowed 5 touchdowns to wide receivers, or 150 to slot receivers in the last 2, 150 yards per game in the last 2. Rams got embarrassed last week, big time. Cooper Kupp is gonna, he's gonna light it up. I think the Rams are gonna light it up against that awful defense. I still think the Rams could possibly even cover, but Cooper Kupp's gonna have a hell of a game this week against an awful Rams defense.
Cooper Kupp. Who's Cooper Kupp playing? He is on the Rams.
Arizona.
Yeah, he's on the Rams. Yeah.
Sorry.
The bloom is off the rose a little bit on the Rams. Jalen Ramsey has come in, and he's not exactly been the lockdown that they had expected. You gotta like for me anyway. You gotta like Christian Kirk in that game. I think that Kyler Murray is extending the plays. I know Aaron Donald's trouble up the middle, but you can move the ball against that LA Rams defense, and I like Cameron Kirk in that same game.
Right on. I have as my tight end for cold cash, Jack Doyle. That sounds like an Irish cop who beats his wife. Bottom 10 against the Titans for the Titans defense. Bottom 10 against the tight end, and have allowed 15 PPR in the past 5 games on average to tight ends. Jack Doyle, Indianapolis Colts. Love it.
Double down on that because Eric Ebron is on IR, so he's not sharing snaps anymore with a Pro Bowl tight end.
Correct.
Yeah, I like that pick. I'm also a big fan, although this may be cheating because I know he's slipped in recent weeks, but he's still 5th overall. Love Mark Andrews for Baltimore this week. I think Mark Andrews is going to have a big game for them to maintain any semblance of their dominance that they've done. I just can't see the 49ers allowing them to run the football. I think the 49ers front 7 is the best in the NFL. This is a game that I'm really looking forward to.
I can't believe they didn't flex that one up instead of having it at 1 o'clock. But
no,
okay.
It was protected.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the reason why. It makes perfect sense. Otherwise, why are you going to watch? I forgot who. Oh, the Pats Houston game. That'll be good, but not near as good. Flex spot, I have Austin Eckler. He has 11 PPR in 4 out of his last 5. And the last time he played Denver, he had 15 catches for 86 yards. That is a PPR machine. Austin Eckler.
Lining up in the slot.
Yes, he is. He's been killing it. And then they have Denver, obviously, yet again. Give me Austin Eckler again.
Like that pick. I like that pick. And I'm going with I like Andrew Adams as my flex this week. Adams is going to absolutely torch the Giants. We both know he's going for 202 touchdowns.
Yeah, not bad either. It's funny how he slipped out of the top 5. By the way, fun fact, scored his first touchdown of the year last week, which is why I'm that week of the playoffs in the Comics League. Go figure. Hot trash. This week, this name never is on a hot trash list, but here you go. First time for me, Deshaun Watson. 3 points last time his last game. Pats have allowed a quarterback to score 13 or more one time. Do not trust Deshaun Watson against that Pats defense. I don't care if it's at home. They're keeping the hatches battened down. Do not like Deshaun Watson. Avoid him like the clap.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, thank you. I'd stay away from Drew Lock. People are loving Drew Lock. They're excited about Drew Lock. A lot of people are saying he's a vibe. Matt Perry from ESPN is saying he's a viable fantasy play. Stay away from a rookie that they thought so little of that they played an undrafted free agent in front of. Stay away from Drew Lock.
Yeah. Tevin Coleman, running back, 9 PPR in the last 4. 40 yards or less and 1 TD in that span. I'd rather have Vince Coleman or even Gary Coleman than Tevin Coleman this week. And against the Baltimore defense, as you said before, I think the Baltimore may get out ahead early, and who knows? I mean, he may be out of the mix fast. Plus, Matt Breida is coming back too. That backfield just got a lot more crowded again. Pass.
I can't believe I'm even saying this, but Chris Carson, guy who kept me afloat through the first half of the year, losing fumbles and losing touches. People have been saying that Penny was going to take over the starting running backs role for 2 years now. He's held the fort, but now Penny, I think, is getting the lion's share of the touches up in Seattle.
Don't say that. I've got him on Monday night with Russ Wilson against Lawrence Deloche for my number 1 seed. I don't want to hear that, but I hear the logic. It's a good pick. OBJ, hot trash. He's more off the radar than Randy Quaid is. 2 touchdowns allowed all year long. And if you don't think that Pittsburgh defense is going to be jacked up like pit bulls on 4 Loco, you're insane. They're going to shut them down big time. OBJ's done nothing all year. Why go against the top 5 pass defense? I wouldn't. No OBJ for me. Pass.
Yeah, I saw a stat that Jadeveon Clowney and Ndamukong Suh and Jalen Ramsey all have as many touchdowns this year as OBJ.
Hilarious. Oh.
Yeah, going with your logic, I'm fading on Hopkins, which sucks because I have him in 2 leagues. He's got Stephen Gilmore and he has the coach, and the coach does one thing. We've said it 7 times this year. What does Bill Belichick do? He takes away your best option. He makes you beat him with your B, C, and D players. DeAndre Hopkins, as good as he is, and I think for my money, he's the best all-around wide receiver in football. The combination of that great defense, Stephen Gilmore and Bill Belichick, made me want to fade Hopkins this week.
Best hands in the game, but I agree with your logic, obviously. Vance McDonald, tight end. He had 1 catch for 1 yard against Cincy last week, and the last time he faced the Browns, 3 for 33. He's had 3 different quarterbacks this year. And again, it's tough to find a tight end that you actually like. So all these guys are mixing the mediocrity. So Vance McDonald, I'll pass on him yet again this year. Hot trash tight end.
O.J. Howard had 1 week where Bruce Arians, remembered he had the greatest mismatch in the entire position, threw the ball to him, and then he dropped the pass the next week, and it's back to, I don't use tight ends. O.J. Howard is a fade not only this week, he's a fade for the rest of the year. And if I were his agents, I'd be begging to have him traded in the offseason.
Agree. Weather's supposed to be sloppy tomorrow. Actually pending a Jacksonville over bet because the Bucks have won 9 in a row with the over. Depending on that weather, I'm going to go over. But if it's a cold but bad weather, I'm not going to touch it.
I got to give you credit, by the way. I looked at your picks last week, and I saw your Tennessee and your Jacksonville over, and I thought you were nuts. And then Tennessee went and hit the over by themselves. What was your logic behind coming up with that over?
I had it written down somewhere. Well, here's the thing, though, too. I mean, Jacksonville, the defense has been lazy. It was an upgrade for Foles. And listen, at the half, I was worried. It was 10-0 at the half. That game was like 10. I was like, oh, that's it. I'm done. And then
I was going to talk a little trash to you, man, because I was like, that was the one pick that you made really this whole year where I was like, damn, Kevin, that doesn't make any sense. And then fucking second half, Tennessee goes and covers all by himself.
Well, that's because Derrick Henry ran for 75 yards to open up the second half.
My boy.
And then the very next play, they fumbled the kickoff, and then bang, Derrick Henry runs it in again. So right then and there, that's 14 quick points, and your boys in the driver's seat. And you're right, they had the overall by themselves. I had the numbers on there, but I forgot. Like I said, I wrote them all down somewhere. That sheet's probably still in Disney World trash bucket. I like that, though. I tell you what I didn't like. I had Dallas this week. I teased Dallas down. I had the Bears. I teased them to getting half a point. I teased Dallas down to laying half a point. I figured they're at home. Bills needed to win. They went out and stunk the joint up. Whoops.
Yeah.
So one started off. Anyway, flex, hot trash player. Carlos Hyde, 8 PPR in 3 out of his last 5. Pats have allowed exactly uno running back to score on the ground. No gracias, Carlos Hyde.
Yeah. I'm going to stay in that same exact game. Actually, you know what? No, you know what? I'm going to stay in that same exact game. And I know that he's a big-time sleeper pick this week. People are expecting Sony Michel to get back on the hot track. Sony Michel has exactly 1 touchdown this year. Sony Michel has ran for over 80 yards exactly once this year. Something's not right. He doesn't have the same burst that he had last year. He's getting faded out of the offense. He's only on the field for about 25% of the snaps in between the 20s. Sony Michel doesn't get the usage, doesn't get the volume, and he doesn't do enough with it. Sony Michel is a fade for me this week, even with a favorable matchup against Houston.
I can absolutely see that. He's an easy horse to keep beating in the ground. Sleeper time. You already mentioned my first sleeper. That's Sam Darnold. You already mentioned another stat. One more for you. Bengals have allowed a league high 13.1 yards per completion. By the way, every time I hear the name Sam Darnold, I hear Mike Francesa saying Travis Darnold. So every
Travis Darnold.
Back after
Travis Darnold.
So that's my first sleeper, so I'll give you that one. There you go. What do you have as your first sleeper?
I like Derek Carr having to play catch-up in Kansas City. I also like Phil Rivers with a bounce-back game. And this might be my heart because Phil looks toast. Phil looks absolutely shot. But, he's won so many games for me. He's won me championships, Phil Rivers.
Me too.
I like to see him go out strong. He has a real favorable matchup. He's just been killing himself with turnovers, but he's 4th in the league in yards this year. I mean, the guy is just killing himself with turnovers. If it wasn't for the interceptions, he would have put up over 22 points 6 straight weeks, but the interceptions knock him down. I'm hoping Phil Rivers has a bounce back. I'm seeing a lot of people make a case for Daniel Jones. Do not fall into that trap. I know Green Bay's defense is bad, but there's a great article on 538.com about Daniel Jones has pulled worse than any quarterback in the last 10 with the number of snaps against zone coverage. He's been statistically the single best quarterback in the league this year against man coverage. Now, why does that matter? Because Green Bay plays zone more than any other defense in the league. So you're looking at a bad defense. You're looking at an ascending quarterback. You're thinking, oh, this is a sleeper situation. I just don't see it. I don't see it. He doesn't have Golden Tate. He doesn't have Evan Ingram. And he's going to be playing against the defense that is his kryptonite. So here's hoping Daniel Jones learns how to see the zone in the offseason, learns how to read the zone.
All right, sleeper number 2, my favorite name to say all year long, DJ Chark. Tampa Bay defense, 71% of their red zone yards allowed are through the air. Tampa Bay, the second most red zone drives. But my buddy Mike back in the day used to be he was number 1 red zone drives who loved having sex with girls on periods. Go figure. I love – he loved the smell of batteries too. So I guess you put 2 and 2 together and there you have it. DJ Shark, if the weather holds up in Jacksonville, I love DJ Shark, and I love that over. Again, if that weather holds up, it's supposed to rain a lot tomorrow, but we shall see. DJ Shark, sleeper number 2.
Sleeper number 2 for me is Ryan Griffin, the New York Jets tight end. Now, if you remember all the way back to our preseason sleepers, I loved Chris Herndon because Sam Darnold loves throwing to his tight ends, and Adam Gase is a tight end whisperer. If you look at the tight ends that Adam Gase has had throughout his tenure, no matter where they are, he makes shit from Shinola. The guy loves the tight end in his offense. Now, Ryan Griffin has usurped Chris Herndon because of Chris Herndon's Michigas, and Ryan Griffin back-to-back 20-point games in PPR. Gotta love me some Ryan Griffin. This is a great matchup for him. Give me some Ryan Griffin.
I'm down with that. Last sleeper I have is Benny Snell. 21 out of 98 he went for last week when they sat down the stinky Jalen Samuels, who almost cost me the win. He's terrible. I do not trust anyone else. Benny Snell against, again, the lackluster Cleveland Brown defense. That game's be one in the trenches. Benny Snell seems to be the guy for this week, so let's roll with him.
Rashad Penny, for all the reasons why I don't like Chris Carson.
Oh.
Same offense, same value, new name. I like Rashad Penny to get that Chris Carson numbers. Get those Chris Carson numbers.
And before we continue, let's go with our Black Betty's VIP pick of the week. All right, now we are with free money. I absolutely love teaser number one. I have Pittsburgh. I took from +2 to +8, and the under from 39 to 45. Explain to me who's going to score points. Pittsburgh on their 1, 2, 3 quarterback. Pittsburgh 10-0 straight up at home against Cleveland. Pittsburgh 4-1 straight up at home against them. 5 out of 1 straight up in their last 6. Cleveland is so bad at Pitt. 3-15-1 straight up. 4-16 straight up on the road for the Browns. And, of course, let's not forget that the Browns have went out and made an absolute fool of themselves after that Thursday night debacle. I see the Browns coming back and losing this game in pure retribution. Pittsburgh defense going to eat Baker alive in their building. Pitt +8, under 45. That's bet number one, teaser number one.
I'm going to go old school. We're going to go straight up. Give me the Jets -3 against the Bengals. That line is way off. What are the bookmakers looking at that I'm not seeing? The Jets are surging 3 wins. They caught Oakland in the trap last week, the vaunted trap game. Oakland looking ahead to Kansas City. Fell apart against the Jets. Now the Jets have a self-destructive tendency, that is sure, but there's not been a team as bad as the Bengals this year since the Dolphins earlier this year. So give me the Jets and 3 points against the soon-to-be 0-16 Bengals.
If this was 3.5, I'd be taking the Bengals because Andy Dalton is a vicious upgrade, as sad as that sounds, against Ryan Finley. I think this could be a trap game for the Jets, but the number's not right enough for me to – 3.5, I'm on it. 3, I'm not on it.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I think that at home, I think this is a trap game for the Jets for the exact reasons you just gave. Jets have a nice win. Bengals 0-10. They are trying. They did cover the last 3. I think Ryan Finley being out is going to help them as a slight upgrade, but 3.5 is the number I wanted. I couldn't get it in time, so I'll pass. Pick number 2. This is going to surprise you, Gerard Heron, buddy. I am taking the Kansas City under this week, 51. Fun fact, Andy Reid off a bye. Thank you. Randy Reid off a bye, we all know is pretty good, but do you know his under stats off a bye? 67% under off the bye. And, let's also mention this. Supposed to have 20-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow at Arrowhead Stadium. Not good for those who are trying to play an over. Oakland have gone under 7 out of their last 9, 15 out of their last 18 from those in the AFC West. That is not good. Kansas City have gone under 6 out of 8 against Oakland of late. I love and have a heavy bet on Oakland under 51. The Pats are -3. So what you're going to do is get the Pats at +3. And the Pack down the -0.5. Yep. Boy, I love that. I love that pick. That's a nice one, Gerard. I'm with you on that one. By the way, you mentioned the Chargers before. That is my first total win for the year already. I had the under 9.5 with the Chargers in the bag. Beautiful.
You really need Pittsburgh this week against Cleveland for you.
I do. Well, for both reasons, I had Pittsburgh over and Cleveland under. So you're absolutely right. Yep. I mentioned before Green Bay. You said it already. They're 8-3 of late. I just think they're going to have an absolute retribution. Here's one I'm debating about, but I kind of got scared a little bit on, and that's the Miami-Philadelphia Eagles game. I was going to tease that one up to +16 and then over 54. But Philly is getting a bunch of guys back on offense. That's what scares me. Jeffrey.
Yeah, and not only are they getting guys back, they got that championship caliber, and Dallas is leaving the door wide open for them. So I'd be scared that Philly figures it out here.
Yeah, again, so I was all ready to fire that in until I saw everyone was practicing at full capacity. I can't take it. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to go probably Jacksonville over, again, unless the weather is an absolute mess. Here's why. Jacksonville versus Tampa. have gone over 4 out of their last 5 they've played. Like I said, Tampa has gone over in 9 straight and 5 out of 5 on the road. Both defenses stink. Tampa's putting up points. All Jacksonville needs to do pretty much at the over being 48. Jacksonville just needs to put up 20, I think, and Tampa will do their job. But I like that one as my second pick of the week.
I'm going to go with a teaser again here. We're going to tease the Titans up to +4 against Indianapolis. They're it's basically a pick'em game down there. I really like the way Ryan Tannehill's got that offense going. And on the other half, I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers down from 10 against the Washingtons to 4. I think 4 is an easier cover. As bad as Washington is, they've been actually staying in games with their running game, especially controlling the clock. I think 10 is too much of an ask for Kyle Allen. So I like Carolina 4, and I like against Indianapolis, Tennessee going up to +4.
Actually, Tennessee is getting 1 right now, so you're getting 7 with that teaser.
So it was 2 when I saw it, so now I'm getting 7. Wow. So
yeah.
wait, it's switched. They opened as 2-point favorites. Now they're a 1-point dog.
Well, here's the reason why. And I was actually all set to make the Colts my next pick until one person was announced out, and that is T.Y. Hilton. The Colts absolutely own the Titans at home. They're 13-3 against the spread, 14-2 straight up. Tennessee is 1-10 in Indy, but one man is out, and that one man changes the dynamic for everything, and that is T.Y. Hilton. That's
a 3-point swing, huh?
Yeah, which is funny because he's a 1-point downgrade. He's one of those wide receivers that when he's out of a game, he affects the line by 1. When he is out of the lineup, Gerard, they are like 0-6 or 1-7, something like that. So they absolutely rely on T.Y. Hilton.
They have no Mac, no Ebron, and no T.Y. Hilton.
Correct. Again, all ready to fire in the Colts, but Titans hanging in there tight. So that's another one I had there as well. So all right, I'm down with that pick. Although I'm also kind of tempted to take Seattle -3 at home. No one shits the bed harder in prime time than Kirk Cousins, as we know. I know Seattle has had their issues at home. They've lost, I think, 2 and maybe even 3 without even looking.
I got to tell you, nobody wants to play Seattle in the playoffs. If Seattle gets in, nobody wants to play Seattle in the playoffs.
Yeah, Seattle 1-5 at home against a spread of late. That's scary, but again, Kirk Cousins out of 1 o'clock at home games, not good. I like Seattle just laying a simple field goal. You mean to tell me on a neutral they're even? Boy, I don't know. Yeah, and that defense is not the same what it used to be earlier in the year.
It's not. I also think it's an overcorrection for the 12th man. It's the hardest place in the NFL to play. And I think that the bookmakers, they give an overcorrection to Seattle at home. By the time this airs, I'll be in Laps, Boston. So if anybody is in the Boston area, come check it out. 8 o'clock on Sunday, and also on Monday I will be on Compound Media's morning. I appreciate it, Kev. Love you, buddy. I got a jet. You guys have a great one, all right?
Check out Gutting the Sacred Cow. New episode just went up. Another new episode will come up next week with AC Rowe and the Wolf of Wall Street. But for now, Kevin the Crowd, Gerard Harron, Fantasy Football Jibber Jabber, we're out. Take care, boys. Later.